Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Tiffany and this is Tiff and Stitches, and I'm coming at you with kind of a different video today. I was looking at holiday sweaters and thought it would be fun to just sit down with you guys, be comfy, be cozy, and talk a little bit about what I am dream knitting for a Christmas sweater. We all know I have way too many things on my needles right now to even like dream of casting that on, but I really do think I will do a holiday sweater next year. And I wanted to kind of talk to you guys about what I was thinking about. I did do heatless curls in my hair, and it's kind of a whole thing. And I just put on like very light makeup, and I'm wearing like comfy cozy pajama set from Amazon. So don't mind that, but it's a Friday afternoon late, it's getting dark, and I'm trying not to lose the light, and figured I would just sit down and film this for you guys. So I broke this into different categories. I do have notes, and I have a lot of pictures that I'll be sharing right here because I have not knit any of these patterns, nor do I have any of the yarn in hand that I would knit them in. But I broke it into categories. So I think a lot of the times when we think of holiday sweaters, we think of stranded color work. And so that's what I'm going to start out with. I have a few really pretty ones. But then I also think that you can really make a holiday sweater out of any pattern, right? If you use the right color yarn, and you can make any sweater festive. So I do have some textured patterns I think would be pretty in a holiday sweater, and also just some basics, right? With the yarn pairings that I feel would bring them to life. So let's dive into it. Before I do jump in, my Instagram and Ravelry are always linked below. You can find me there, see what I'm working on. And then obviously if you enjoy videos like this, you like podcasts, you like reviews, you like vlogs, then subscribe to the channel. I would enjoy if you stayed. So let's dive on in to the stranded colorwork options that I came across. So I do have my iPad here, and I have my notebook here so that I can make sure that I'm kind of talking about these and covering everything that I wanted to cover. So just so we know. But the first pattern that I'm going to talk about is a very popular Christmas sweater that I think a lot of people probably talk about, and that is the Holly sweater by Knitting for Olive. So I'll put a picture of that here. This sweater comes in a total of 8 sizes, ranging from extra small to 4XL, and I love it because it's simple enough. You've got the one band of color work, and then the rest of the body is stockinette solid color, but it obviously stands out as a Christmas statement piece. This is knit in fingering weight held with lace weight, so you've got a fingering weight held with a mohair. And the gauge is 21 stitches by 33 rows. The sample is knit, obviously, in Knitting for Olive. They did a combination on the main color of Nordic Beach and Cream in their merino. And then the Nordic Beach in the merino, Cream in the mohair. And then for contrast color 1, they used slate green for both. And then for contrast color 2, they used pomegranate for both. And this is knit on a US 6 and a US 4 for the ribbing. So those are kind of the details of the pattern. Now, I love their combination. I think that the Knitting for Olive combo is great, but I think what's also awesome about this sweater is that as long as you can buy the main color, that you could then do the color work in scraps. You really don't need a lot of either of those colors. So to tell you exactly what this one calls for, if I can get it to open up here. So the contrast color, the main color, you need a total of, depending on the size, anywhere between 4 and 7 balls of the merino and 4 and 7 balls of the mohair. But for the contrast color, you just need scraps of each, not even a full ball. It doesn't give me the yardage on the main page, but it's not a full ball of yarn. So my thought is that if you were to get the main color, or you could get like a cone. So this is Holst Garn, and you could get this in like the bleached white colorway if you want to stick with the color palette that they have. And then you could use literal scraps, mini skeins for that color work band, which will make it pretty affordable because you're not going to use a full skein. The next sweater, that's really all I have to say about that one. I think it's beautiful. It is on my to knit list. I did watch those twins who knit, Jessica knit that sweater, and she said that the Colorwork does have some longer sections of floats and things like that, but I feel like since knitting my Fair Isle sweater that I'm test knitting right now, I've really figured out how to catch my floats in a way that doesn't bother me. So I'm not really scared off by that fact, and I think I would knit it anyways. But I think that pattern is a beautiful option. The next one is much more intricate, much more color work, so keep that in mind. And that is the Christmas sweater by Sandnes Garn. I think this is adorable, and I think it would be so fun for like office Christmas lunch or to wear to my kids' school for a Christmas party, because it's got like the fun kind of cartoony vibe, but it's also like, I think you would stay interested the whole sweater because the motifs are small enough and you're constantly changing that I think it would be a lot of fun. So this is a pattern by Sandnes Garn. It comes in only 4 sizes, so that is one limiting factor. I'm sure that's because of the Colorwork numbers, but it does range from extra small to an extra large, and it's knit in a US 4 for the main body and a US 2.5 for the ribbing, and it's a DK weight yarn, so nothing being held together, just DK weight. They knit their sample in Sandnes Garn alpaca, but I think it would be beautiful in Holst Garn, and I actually, because my full Colorwork sweater that I'm knitting today is all in Holst Garn, and I've absolutely loved working with it. The yarn is also very affordable, so I think that you could use Holst Garn for the entire sweater, and that it would be beautiful. So I did see a pattern on the pattern page where I wrote down she used Holst Garn, and then her main color was Petit Lambswool from Bishabouche. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I'll put a picture of the yarn here in the off-white. And then she used the color Coffee from Holst Garn, which I actually am using in my current sweater, and I should have some left over so I could knit it with that. The color Venetian, which is a really pretty red. The color Nougat I have a cone of, so I should have some left over of that. Dark Apple, the color Black, and then the color Brown. So I think that would be a really beautiful version. And Holst Garn has some dimension to the colors, whereas Sandnes Garn tends to be more solid. And so I feel like you would get just more out of using the Holst Garn yarn. You get more dimension to the sweater. So that's the route I would go. And I've worked with it as often as I have and done this sweater, I would feel comfortable working with Holst Garn on this. So I think it would be gorgeous. The color palette that she used is here. I did add in another Holst Garn color for the main color because I think that you could use the bleached white or multiple colors from Holst Garn for the main color and just make it a full Holst Garn sweater. So I love this sweater, and I see myself knitting this in the future because I've really fallen in love with stranded color work. We'll talk more about that in my next podcast. Okay, the next one is a heavier weight sweater, an Aran weight sweater. So I think it would knit up really fast, and that is I don't know how to pronounce this, the Kristtjorn Christmas sweater by Hanne Rimmen. And this sweater, like I said, is Aran weight. She actually holds 3 yarns together to achieve the Aran weight. She holds DK plus lace. That seems like a lot. It's all Issayer, so I may play around with some different yarns for this one. I don't know exactly what I would do just yet, but I think it could be pretty, a DK held with a Surrey, which I think would get you more of that Aran weight, rather than doing 2 laces. So that may be like the route I would go. But the gauge on this one, it's, there's 6 sizes. small to 3XL, and the gauge is 17 by 23. So definitely a larger gauge. I think it would knit up really fast, and I think it's a really beautiful alternative to the Knitting for All of Holly sweater. Still just a yoke that you have to worry about with the Colorwork knitting. It still has kind of the bobbles for the holly berries, but it's a little bit more intricate, a little bit more attention to the yoke, but it's in a bigger gauge. So I feel like that would be a fun knit. It's knit in on a US 7 and then a US 6 for the ribbing. And yeah, I think it's festive, and I think it's a beautiful option if you're looking for something that may knit up a little faster, which may be me this year because my test knit is due beginning of December. So I may try to whip out a Colorwork sweater before Christmas. We'll see. We'll see if that happens. Okay, and then I have two more. I guess I did have a total of, yeah, I did have a total of 5. I have 2 more Colorwork sweaters in this category. The next sweater is called the Jewel Sweater by Elenor Mortensen. And I love this one because of the subtle Christmas vibes. And I'm going to put in some of the tester project photos for this because this is what really brings it Christmas, right? The pattern itself, she went with very non-traditional colors, although the motif is definitely Christmas tree-like. But some of the testers did some versions that I think really bring this full circle to being a holiday sweater, and I love it. I think it's beautiful. So this is another one where it's just the yoke as colorwork. It's not all over colorwork. It comes in 9 sizes, small to 6XL, and it is knit on a US 4 with a US 2.5 for the ribbing. And this gauge is 25 by 31, fingering weight yarn throughout. And another one that I feel like you could really use some leftover yarns for the contrast colors. You only need, depending on the size you knit, for contrast color 1, 92 to 150 yards. And then for contrast color 2, you need 55 to 97 yards. So I feel like you could, you know, if you have that random skein left over, you could really pull off, you know, using some scraps for this. It would have to be a little bit more than like a mini skein, but I think you could make it work and then just get the main color that you want to use. There's a version that I'll share. If I haven't already shared it, I'll put it here, where she used this really pretty green as the main color and used gold in there, and I feel like that's a really pretty Christmas vibe that she has. I think that this is gorgeous. Really pretty. So that one is definitely on the list for the future for me as a Christmas sweater. And then the last colorwork one I have, I think is also very cutesy. My kids would love it. I think it would be really fun to wear to, like I said, to like a school event. And I love it. I think it's beautiful. And that is the Rudolph by Novita Design Studio. It was designed by Mina Metsinen. This is a DK weight pattern, all over colorwork. Comes in 9 sizes, extra small to 5XL. The gauge is 22 by 24. And I think I would also lean towards knitting this in Holst Garn. It depends. I do have a favorite DK dyer. And if she comes out with kits, Moon Glow Yarn Co., if she came out with like a traditional Christmas kit, right now her Christmas kit is very teals and like not traditional, but if she came out with a traditional one, like that'd be cool. But I did find some colors in Holst Garn that I think would be pretty. I'll put the palette here. These are the colors: bleached white, coffee, carmine, mouflon, and cloverleaf. So I feel like these would be gorgeous colors for this sweater as well, and I think it would be beautiful and fun. All right, so that is all of the colorwork patterns that I feel that struck my fancy, that caught my eye when I was looking on Ravelry. But next, I think we go into the textured patterns that I feel would be beautiful for a holiday party, and it just really depends on the color yarn you use. Like, they don't, you know, even though they don't have the color work, they don't have the different colors that you can bring in that make it Christmassy. I think that you could use one solid color and really have a statement piece that would be a beautiful holiday sweater. So the first one that I have I just found out about, I was watching a podcast that I've been catching up on past episodes, which is the Knit a Good Yarn podcast with Jackie and Carmen. They're in Canada. They're beautiful humans. I relate to them a lot, and they're both in the field of psychology as their job, and that's what my major is in. So like the way they talk about yarn and the feel of the yarn and the aura of the yarn, and just it's an awesome podcast to watch just because they dive so deep, and plus the episodes are so long. So if you haven't checked them out, you should. I'll link their channel below. But a few months back, they both test knit this sweater, and when I saw it, I was like, that would be so beautiful as a holiday sweater. Maybe in a burgundy or even in a white, and pair it with like a really pretty plaid skirt that screams Christmas colors on the bottom, but then you have like this white, beautiful top. I feel like could be good as well. And I'm talking a lot about this, and I haven't told you the sweater. This is the Ribwave by Joanna Ang. I'll put that photo here. I love the way she uses texture to draw your eyes to different areas of this sweater. The sleeves are so gorgeous. The front V is perfect. I just feel like it's elegant, and it would be so, so beautiful as a holiday sweater. Like I really am leaning towards like the white with like a really pretty skirt, maybe even like a red satin skirt. Could make a beautiful holiday outfit. But this pattern comes in 9 sizes, from size extra small to 5XL. And you use a US 6 for the main body, US 2.5 for the ribbing. And it is an 18 by 25.5 gauge with fingering held with lace. And one of the yarns that I think would be beautiful for this is one that is about to be available for pre-order. So you guys, if you're watching this when I release it, you're watching it on Saturday, the 16th of November. This yarn actually launches on the 17th for pre-order and will be open for a couple of days. So that is the color This Place Had a Heartbeat by Treehouseknits. This is from her Season of the Stitch collection, which is based on Noah Kahan music. And this burgundy, I think, would look gorgeous in the Ribwave. I think it would be beautiful. But then I also like the white with the red. I don't know. I think it's gorgeous though, and I'm definitely knitting this sweater. This sweater is happening. I just don't know when, but it's happening, and I think it would be beautiful as a holiday sweater. The next textured, and the last textured one I have on here that I think just speaks holiday sweater is the Poetry Pullover by Sari Nordland. This is an all-over lace sweater, so it gives that elegance of the holidays, and I feel like you could do this in just a white, just the same as the Ribwave, or this burgundy red by Woolly Knit is a gorgeous option as well. You could get a cone of that and knit the entire sweater with the yarn held double. This is a DK weight yarn. It comes in 9 sizes, 1 through 9. I will put the gauge in the description box below. It's knit on a US 4, and it ranges, the sizes 1 through 9 range from a 31.5 inch bust to a 63 inch bust. She does not give sizes like extra small, so on, but those are the bust measurements that it ranges. And I think that that burgundy red color would just be a subtle holiday where you could transition it and wear it through the rest of the year. But you could put it with like, I could see that with like black tights, with like a pleather skirt, with a black jacket, that would, with knee-high boots, that would be a really pretty holiday outfit. I wish I had these things and I could like style them for you, but I don't. So I think it could be very elegant, but then I think it could transition. You could wear it more throughout the year, which is one of the perks of not having like a Colorwork overly Christmas sweater, you know? So those are the 2 textured patterns that stood out to me as being holiday-esque. And then the next category I have is striped. And I think that this is a striped basic that if you knit it in Christmas colors, it would be perfect. And so that would be the Sunday sweater by, I did not write down her name. I have it though. Her name is Sunday something or other. Okay. by On Fiscum Sunday, November Knits, I think is maybe her name. So this is a striped sweater, you'll see it here, and I think that it would be beautiful knit. Sandnes Garn, it calls for Sandnes Garn Sunday, held with Sandnes Garn 10 silk mohair. And I did put some color combos together, so I will show those color combos here. The first one is the red version, and I think it would be beautiful with the main color as Sunday in the color 4219 and the mohair in the color 4236 held together. And then the contrast color will be the same for both versions, and that would be the 1001 in the Sunday and 1012 in the mohair. For the second version, which would be the green version, I think you could hold Sunday in 8082 as your main color with the mohair 8581 with the same cream colored yarns for the stripes. And I think that that would be a very easy basic that you could transition throughout the year. It won't be in your face Christmas, but it would be beautiful for a Christmas gathering, you know, dressed up with jeans, knee-high boots. Like, I think it would be perfect for Christmas. Okay, the last section I have for you guys today is just our basics, right? Really, you can turn any sweater into a holiday sweater like we've been talking about, and I think that your basic stockinette sweaters are versatile enough that you could then pair them with a really cute skirt that has a pattern. You could pair them with fun Christmas leggings if you want, things like that. So I'm going to talk about two. They're both Petit knit patterns because I feel like she's the go-to for basics. Like, she's just so good. She's so good. She's size inclusive, and I just love it. And both of these sweaters that I went with are mohair or Surrey alpaca alone, right? No merino held with them, because I feel like that gives those basics like a sort of elegance to them. But I think you could also knit like a Monday sweater and do a merino held with mohair. As long as it's in a Christmas color, it'd be beautiful. But these two particular are that fuzzy, furry, kind of elegant lace held double sweater. The first one is a Stockholm sweater, and this uses 2 strands of mohair held together throughout. It comes in 9 sizes, extra small to 5XL. The gauge is 21 by 31 on a US 6, and then there's also a US 4 that's used and a US 2.5. The combos that I would use, 10 silk mohair in 4236, which is a beautiful red. Held double, I think would be gorgeous to make a holiday sweater. But then also knitting for olive soft silk mohair in the color slate green held together, or the color Bordeaux. Bordeaux, I think it doesn't scream Christmas, but that burgundy color I think would be absolutely beautiful. And that's kind of what I would do in terms of the Stockholm sweater to make it a Christmassy holiday sweater. The next basic that I went ahead and wrote down, and I think this is gonna happen, like I want this sweater in this particular color. I think it would be gorgeous. So this is the Cumulus blouse by Petit Knit. This, it comes in 9 sizes, extra small to 5XL, and it's 2 strands of lace held together. I would do this in Surrey. I've seen many versions in Surrey that they are a little bit more full coverage. They're very fluffy, and I love that look. This is knit on US 7 needles, and the gauge is 18 by 26. So definitely a faster knit because of the large needle size and the larger gauge. This color from Treehouseknits, this is another one that's in her Season of the Stitch collection that's launching tomorrow from when you're watching this. This is called Start Your Life in the Middle of the Jungle, and I think it's beautiful. I think it's gorgeous. It's a green, it is bold, but I think that it would scream holiday sweater, and it would be so pretty. She has many fuzzy bases, and her Surrey, just the color, I'll put a photo here of the fuzzy yarns that she carries, and I just think it would be gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So that is what I think I might order. My birthday is next week, and I think I might get some of her yarns, especially the 2 I talked about today, that burgundy and that green. She also has a purple launching that I love purple, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, so this is my little holiday roundup. I hope it was inspirational. I know we don't have a ton of time till Christmas, but I've been watching people on Instagram crank out sweaters in 7 days. Now, it's not me, but I know some of you guys can do it. So hopefully you're able to apply this and maybe have a cute holiday sweater. If you have any questions about anything, comment below. If you are gonna knit any of these patterns and I inspired you today, let me know that, because I would love to see and follow you on Instagram or Ravelry and see your progress. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.